episode, solving linear equations, basic kinds coming up back into action. Hey guys, today I will show you how to solve basic linear equations. And all that means is just find the value of x that satisfies your equation, that makes your equation true, that works, in other words, for your equation. And by the way, as a kind of side note, the process of solving the linear equations for x, it's very similar to changing the subject of the formula, if you ever heard about this. And by the way, I have a series on how to change the subject of the formula, or how to make your x, because basically we're going to make, in other words, x the subject of the formula. A bunch of videos, and I will just link them down below in the description box, and you could check them out later for the explanation. Now, as a good rule of thumb, we always do the opposites. Keep in mind that the opposite of addition is subtraction, and vice versa. The opposite of multiplication is division, and vice versa. So these operations, these pairs of operations, they kind of undo each other, they untangle each other. So suppose you have been given something like this: x plus 2 equals 3. So you want to isolate x. So you want to get your x alone on the left side normally, so it also could be done on the right side, doesn't matter that at this point. So you want to bring all your constants, all your numbers to the right side. And since this 2 is added to x, so you want to bring this 2 to the right side. So you want to move this 2 to the right side. And since you have addition, so you want to undo this. So you want to do the opposite, the inverse, the reverse. And since the inverse of addition is subtraction, as I said before, so you want to subtract this 2 from both sides of your equation. So keep in mind, as a good rule of thumb, so what you do to one side, you must do to other side of your equation. You want to keep it balanced. You don't want to change the overall value of the equation. So on the left side, this 2 goes away, drops out. Drop down this x, so it becomes in the next line x. Drop down the equality sign, and 3 minus 2 basically gives you 1. So that's your solution, or that's your root, if you will, for that equation. So, and we could just box it out. So at this point, I would suggest you to check it out. You don't have to write it explicitly, but all you do is just take this one and plug it in for x into your original equation and see if it works. So since 1 plus 2 gives you 3, so we are correct. We are done. Again, the idea is write your x explicitly and get that number. Look at number 2. So again, as a good rule of thumb, you want to move all your numbers away from your x until you get your x alone. Isolate your x by itself. Since we have take away this 1, so you want to do the opposite. So add 1 to both sides of your equation. Bring down 3x at this point. 1 goes away, drop down the equality sign. 14 plus 1 gives you 15. Now again, we're aiming for x. We want to isolate x and get it alone. whatever attach your x, in this case it's 3, divide through both sides. So you want to divide 3 by 3. The left side, the same applies, the same goes for the right side. So again, you do the opposite, since division undoes multiplication. Since 3 being multiplied by x, you want to undo it. So 3 goes away, drops out, and you end up getting x equals 15 over 3, leaves you 5. That's your solution, that's your root for that linear equation. Again, at this point, you could check it out just by plugging it in the original equation. Substitute for x, 3 times 5 gives you 15 minus 1, 14. It does work, it checks out. Moving on, say you have been given something like this. Same idea, I'm going to go through this kind of quickly. Subtract 1 from both sides, since you want to move and bring this one to the right side, and you do the opposite, since subtraction undoes addition. Bring down x over 3 at this point. 1 goes away, dissipates and drops out. 2 minus 1 gives you 1. Now, you want to get your x alone. And you want to clear off this fraction, because x over 3 could be thought as 1 over 3 times x. And you want to get rid of these 3 in the bottom of your fraction. So multiply both sides of your equation by 3. So you multiply your left side by 3, and the same goes for the right side. 3 goes away, drops out, disappeared, and you would be left with x equals 1 times 3. That leaves you with 3. And that's your solution for that equation. Again, you could check it out by plugging it in, and it works and it checks out. And finally, the last one. Say you have been asked to solve it for x for that linear equation. Alright, on the left side it happens to be a fraction. So again, you want to eliminate, you want to get rid of this fraction. And the way you would do is just simply multiply by 4 in order to get rid of this 4 in the denominator, both sides of your equation. So you multiply by 4 the left hand side, and you multiply by 4 the right hand side of your equation. So 4 goes away, drops out. Bring down the entire numerator. So in this case, it's this 3x plus 2. So drop it down. And on the right side, you would be left 1 times 4. That would leave you just 4. And from that point, the steps are pretty the same what we did before. So again, move everything away from your x, from your 3x actually. So until you would get it alone by itself. So this 2 you want to subtract from both sides. Subtract this 2. Goes away, disappeared. Bring down 3x. Bring down the equality sign. 4 minus 2 gives you 2. And finally, whatever attach your x, divide through, divide it out. So divide by 3 both sides. Divide by 3. And you would be left getting just x equals 2 over 3. Notice it happens to be a fraction, but it's totally fine for this equation. Even sometimes you could come up with the negative numbers, negative integers, fractions, decimals, whatever comes along. Just keep it as is. And that's your solution for that linear equation. So I hope it has been helpful to you. Thanks for watching and train your brain. I know everyone hates maths, but if you like my video, please hit that like, share with your friends, smash that subscribe button if you haven't done it before. And be sure to subscribe, yes, so you will not miss out my new videos.